These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
Of Shurima.
Yeah, a little bit off there from Faker, but to be honest, don't think they would have killed BDD there, even if the ult did connect. Ono doesn't have his ult, probably would have just been a flash, but still a bit unfortunate. Good moves from BDD.
Pyosik is going to be able to lock down the third. So there we go. They got exactly what they wanted. A bit of investing for the future, you could say.
Yep, looks like a lot of objective focus from KT, really trying to get these on lock, but T1 seem not really too focused on that, just trying to secure gold where they can on the map. And won't even look to contest this Mountain Dragon at all.
And I don't mind that at all, to be honest. I think that T1 just wanting to set themselves up for a mid-game where they can still fight. And I think that that is something that they should be able to achieve. Here of KT, so you can see that control ward in the back of the pit. Looks like they're just happy to trade it and get towards 3-3. As Beryl throws down a high note. Nice drop of the beat there. As Gumiushi's going to get healed back to full, basically, nullifying all of that effort with a Piercing Darkness, as Senna is wont to do. You can see not too many clues when it comes to exactly what the build is going to look like here for Keria. Yep. It is likely going to be what you were talking about before, with that Helia coming in first.
Down towards a Dragon again.
Yep. You can see KT have not done a lot of damage to structures here in this game. As Owner is going to try and put Pyosik to sleep. The prison does come down, but there's the Emperor's Divide. Mom comes through as well, but there is just nothing Pyosik can do. Encore is going to connect here onto the Lilia, but the Dawning Shadow is there in response. And Beryl and BDD just not with enough damage by the looks of things. A Q does come down, but this is a very early Smolder the flash forward. And BDD not able to do enough to take down Faker's Azir. Beryl there as well, but the extra heal does come on through. KT still able to get back out onto the map and take themselves an Infernal Drake, and that is Hextech Soul.
Who's starting to get items, not ideal, but you have two dragons, it's a Hextech Soul. That is such a powerful one to get. You really feel good that you've kind of been rewarded for your early investment into those dragons. Beryl, though, could be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash, nor does he have heal. He has nothing. He's just dead. That is Gumiushi picking up that kill. And sometimes when you're playing these enchanted supports, you need to be a little bit careful as far as farm is concerned. BDD doing a good job as well. But Neela being only like 2 CS behind is a little bit of a worry.
Yeah, and also part of the fact of having a Neela, Keria is 2 levels up on Beryl.
Yeah.
Which is pretty concerning. Doesn't quite have that Helia yet, but that's a decent spike. But really 2 items is just where this champion just starts to take over the game. So I think with the fact that T1 already have a gold lead, it's really, really good for them. You know, they'll feel good as the game goes on.
That were coming out. But right now, Faker is going to do the I'm going to do nothing and avoid the Glacial Prison. That was really nicely done. Beryl throws a point-blank Encore, though. And I think Faker, after this one, is going to be dead. So 3 versus 1, those odds weren't great. And that is BDD grabbing himself a kill in his bottom lane because Ono's making his way over. And that will be first Turret Blood going over to T1. Whenever you kill Faker, there is always something that his team is taking on the map.
Yep, and it was a good move from Def to cover the mid tower, so they didn't lose that. That would have really been a big hit, but ultimately T1 still getting the first tower in this situation. Can't be too upset about that one. But still good moves from KT. I like that they're trying to make something proactive happen, looking for angles.
Is still very, very healthy.
We've seen this one before.
Yeah, okay, so he does have his flash now, but he's still going to get engaged on here by Pyosik. BDD going to breathe on him there as the Permafrost does come in. He avoids Mom, though, and the wall is going to stop them from being able to walk up. Yeah, Rift Herald goes down in the mid lane, and Faker is just buying as much time as he possibly can. This turret is now going to get aggressive at him as Beryl is just going to flash over. That is going to be the kill picked up, but at what cost? Ladies and gentlemen, as the inner turret is going to fall, as well as the outer, and Shelly even gets to go on another walk after that.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get another charge on the back of this, just using it to get to Dragon quickly.
That'll do it, though.
But here's the cost. Flash bin from Beryl for him to get that kill on a Faker, and they lose this Dragon. And the reason this is so dangerous is because T1 have a big lead, but the next Dragon from here on out, like subsequent Dragons, Baron is going to be up.
Yep.
Yeah, flash this Seraphine. So risky to try and contest his vision.
And he is going to once again be found. Emperor's Divide is going to go wide this time, though, as KT looking for a teleport angle. BDD comes in on top of the turret is perfect. is making his way through as well. Mom comes down, the Dawning Shadow is there, but the AoE damage here from KT is gigantic. There goes Carrier, there goes Faker. Ona was already dead, and now it's just Zeus trying to fight them off, but he knows he's only going to be able to get that one, and KT have their sights on Baron.
A massive overstep from T1 is immediately punished, and just when the game starts to feel like it's going out of KT's control, they punish T1, the AoE ultimates come in a choke point, and T1 fall and lose the Baron when the game felt like it was all in their control. And we see on this one, well, we talked about the standing gold that's available. KT going to look to capitalize on that, trying to push mid in here, and there's just not much T1 can do.
Yep, no stopping this one. They have managed to trade outer for outer so far. As you can see there, the Rebel Baron power play not exactly the largest, as the teleport is going to come through from Faker, as that Glacial Prison just barely enough ergs on it, unfortunately, for Pioshik.
The Abyssal Mask, not much magic damage on KT, so perhaps not the highest value buy there.
Let's see what they can actually utilize it for. Maybe Barrel's damage is what they're trying to boost up after he got that flash kill onto Faker. I don't think that T1 are going to be able to get over towards this Dragon in time, as the bowling ball flies in and just sails by Barrel. There is Soul Point. That is what KT got out of the Baron, and I think, honestly, that's a real good prize.
Yep, they're happy with that one. It's going to put a lot of pressure on T1 in this game, but they're trying to corral them, trying to find an angle here.
Yep, the sleep does go down. Oh! The Apotheosis on the 4 is gigantic, but it is another encore from Barrel that is huge as well, but the Smolder goes down, Pioshik to follow. Zeus is going ballistic. It's a triple kill for the Viking, and now Barrel and Deft are against the world, and I don't think they like that. It's a quadra kill, and there's the penta for the Olaf top from Zeus here in game 1.
Zeus managed to farm up a big lead in this game, and he's rewarded. This is what the comp wants to do. There's no answer to this Olaf. You can't CC him, and with the Senna backing him up, you certainly cannot kill him. He just moves through the fight, taking out target by target. The return ult from KT managed to get some value, but it's not enough, and now T1, with the death timers coming up shortly, they won't be able to end, but they are going to do a lot of damage to KT right now. Taking that tier 2, getting some more gold, getting that inhib tower as well, and this Olaf probably just going to be able to pick up a whole item after that fight. Ults in a team fight, and it's just going to be absurd. So T1 have control over the Dragon. They're going to be able to take this down and then move over to respond from KT. KT haven't even started the Baron yet, so there's no threat. Good moves from T1 to secure this.
Yep, very nicely done. They will be able to take that one down. Big shielding coming in here from KT as Barrel presses his W button, but T1 looking for that inside track here on this mid lane.
They always have a resource to kind of spend.
Well, there's the aggressive advance here. Only onto 2 here on the Apotheosis, and Gumayushi taking so much damage back. That is going to be perfect, shutting him down. He gets a huge shield as a bullet time. Point blank here from Deft. Faker almost being taken down. Ona has to go golden. Faker is out of there, and Ona is just dead. Zeus now trying to keep himself alive against Perfect and Barrel, and it is just not working even through the Sterix. And KT win another fight into a Baron.
T1 go for the desperate engage. Guma tries to force it, doesn't find the right members, and the response is immediate from KT. We don't end up seeing the value of the Olaf in that one, and the Smolder is starting to take over this game. Baron going to be secured for KT, and now steal this. There's no other way about it.
Yep, there's going to be another team fight. That is all I know, as this Dragon is going down exceptionally low. Snare not quite going to connect. That is going to be the steal from Ona, but can they keep themselves alive in the fight? BDD going too far forward. It's another Apotheosis as Barrel is going to go down. Ona will be taken out, though BDD is still alive in this one, but not for long. It's a double for Guma. His health bar is just yo-yoing from these heals. And Pioshik is sent to the nether as well. It is punch for punch, blow for blow between these two teams. So this time, T1 punch back.
And Guma redeems himself for the play around mid, finds the engage that gets on the back line. The healing comes through from Carry to back him up, but now, you know, T1 denied the soul, but it doesn't matter. They're just going to end the game.
Yeah, denying the game, I think, is a good idea. Deny enemy nexus seems to be the game plan for T1, and they are just going to march down this mid lane, take out these nexus turrets. And man, this for game number 1, this was a little bit too intense, but man, it was a banger. We'll see whether we have a few more of these in this series as T1 take out the first one.
I think it's going to be Senna lead bot, Lilia jungle, Aatrox top.
I mean, Lilia has to be in the jungle, right? Aatrox probably has to be top lane. This is likely where it's going to be.
What I think. And I think Parent, because the thing is, you're not the same damage Senna, and Oh no, there.
Oh dear. Deft already going to get queued here by Carrier, as Beryl doing his very best to try and keep him safe, and is going to be able to do so. Tornado going to connect though, and now BDD is coming in. Another Q going to land here from Carrier, looking for first blood, and he's going to boop him back, but the flash forward's going to be there. That's going to be first blood, going over to Lee Sin, but Carrier might pay for it. Deft is now in an awkward position. He's going to flash, BDD gets a kill, but so does Faker. Pyoshik's going to turn up. One after the other, they head towards the enemy jungle. That flash was sick from Pyoshik, and now Ona might find himself in a rough position, but it's 2-2, guys. Let's back off. As Ona is going to now set up towards this Ziggs, but Faker's in trouble. Great interruption on the crash down, but the Ignite still comes in. BDD chasing him down, flapping over. Another Q would do it, but he doesn't overextend. I think if BDD had taken another step forward, he was just dead. And it's only 5.5 minutes. As Faker is going in with 300 health, and he's just dead. BDD going to be able to grab that kill as Beryl and Pyoshik right there ready to challenge.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit more faith in the center than maybe was warranted.
Is he also going to do the thing that you like doing as well, which is just not building an Archangels ever?
You know, I honestly think of all the games, this could actually be an okay Archangels one.
Oh no!
Heresy, but there's a lot of dive threats. You might appreciate the shield. And faster stacking, faster spikes. We do now see finally the Renekton and Sejuani pairing, looking to punish Zeus.
Oh, there's the flash forward from Perfect! Zeus is going to get tagged, and the Winter's Wrath will be enough. The dive was beautiful there from KT.
Just the immediate flash done. Stacks the passive, gets the damage. Oh, BDD.
Yep. Flapping around in circles here is BDD right now as the Shattering Strike does come in. Faker is going to ignore it, basically. And that is going to be Dragon secured by T1.
Yeah.
There we go. As Beryl now looking for an opportunity, could crash over this wall, and there it is! Crashdown does come on through there as well as Zeus does get over here. Gumayushi, let's see whether he can keep them alive. 3 versus 2 right now. A lot of things on cooldown here on KT's side, but it is another pick-off for them.
He really benefited from having this winning top laner in that one for the center to sustain up with, and now you don't have that. Perfect moving around. He is so strong in these early grub fights.
Yep, teleport is going to come in here as Perfect getting in. There is the crash down from Beryl. Mega Inferno Bomb right on top of Ona as the grubs are being taken down in the meantime. Carrier dashing into the backline. Perfect surviving for so long, but will eventually be taken down, and the damage is kind of missing here from KT, but these health bars going lower when the bouncing bombs do land. Gumayushi taking a lot of damage, but he's gonna still get the ult off. The Dawning Shadow layered across. Deft is gonna sacrifice himself to get the kill onto the center, but the team fight is won pretty wholeheartedly here by T1.
Such a scrappy fight, but T1, that's where their composition flourishes. KT try and go for the big engage, but we don't see the value coming out, and yet there's the owner skin being played by Carrier.
Even if it did only recently, only come out like a few years ago, this is something that they've always sort of had in their back pocket, as Owner is going to be starting off this Drake once again. Exactly the same dragons as we had in Game 1. Quizzical, you could say.
Wow.
See whether it's another Hextech Soul. I imagine this one's going to be a Chemtech just to give us some of that balance. But if it's a Chemtech Soul and there's a center on the Rift, do not let that be a thing, as it's going to be an Ocean, and that sounds like it's even worse.
Yeah, I don't think we had enough healing.
Yeah.
See them leaning towards the Herald now. T1 a bit slower on the maps. This might just be given over to KT.
Yeah, it looks like they are just going to be able to leverage their little bit of tempo that they were able to build up for themselves. Hextech Minefield goes down there from Deft just to stop Gumayushi from being able to get in. As the snare is going to land onto Perfect. He could still be a target here. Does hold onto the slice in order to get away from Carrier, as there is the Rift Herald picked up by KT. As this dragon has now been started, and KT, will they actually commit to any sort of play? Carrier going to get spotted out as the tower is going to be taken, and KT just giving this one up, saying instead, we're just going to try and take your stuff. And with a Ziggs, it kind of makes some sense. Satchel can go down, doesn't even need it, and KT get 2 turrets in trade for a single Ocean Drake.
And they might even
wait, two turrets, I said. I said 2 turrets. By Jove. Never mind, that's 3. That is going to be Faker now trying to trade it back for an outer turret towards the bottom side of the map, but I don't know whether that one's going to be worth it as KT slink into the enemy jungle. I think that was a pretty good trade.
It was a phenomenal read by KT. They knew they had the pushing power, they knew they had the prior mid, and they're like completely different ballpark. And so as a result, KT are like, you know, so what if we give them an extra dragon? They don't have the soul yet. And the end result is they get so much structural impact.
Attempt to do now. Yeah, the inroads are just not looking too good, as now Carrier might be in trouble. Oh my goodness, and she does so much damage. What the heck? As, all right, Beryl is going to be pulled back there by the Infernal Chains. Mom goes down, doesn't do a massive amount. Yeah, this Carrier will be able to heal himself back up again as Mega Inferno Bomb almost just straight up kills Gumayusi. Carrier also now moving away. Beryl looking for that flank as Zeus gets on top of his ward once again. The snare going to get picked up by Beryl here as Ona moves over. It's going to be a 50-50, but a take by the Smolder somehow. Carrier steps on 2 balloons and gets down to half health.
Even with a Smolder on your team, they don't have to worry about that for another 5 minutes. So good moves there from KT. Good secure. Oh, TP flank coming in. This is from Carrier.
Yeah, this is very aggressive. And Gumayushi's just going to get dove on top of Def. Takes him down with a Mega Inferno Bomb. And Carrier now just not able to find those angles because without the center, what is this comp actually capable of? As now it's perfect teleporting in. Zeus going to get thrown around like a ragdoll. These executes starting to fly in as he looks to be a hero, but he's burnt to death by BDD. The kick, it's going to connect and Carrier takes down his ex-teammate, but at what cost? As Faker is at full health, he puts up the wind wall, but 1 versus 4. I just don't think it's going to be enough. The last breath comes down, but it is exactly that. He'll take Pyoshik with him, but KT win the fight. I mean, the thing that I'm worried about is that KT are going to feel like they're rushed when they're absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because they sometimes just do that. Because like you say, I mean, they have all of the time in the universe in this game. I mean, they're praying for a 70-minute, as they're not going to get one, as that is going to be a kick out onto Beryl. Mom comes down. Owner is going to absorb a lot of buttons by just pressing Zhonya as he puts the Crocodile to sleep. Is now perfect. He could be in trouble, but it's another crash down. Def takes down Ona, and BDD is untouched in this backline. Faker goes in, but the Dragon is mauling them. Def satchels his way out. That's the Crocodile locking down a kill, and now it's BDD flapping forward, and he can feel the wind in his wings, and Zeus is just gonna go down. It's a triple kill for the Little Dragon. He is legendary. And I don't even think he needs his mom anymore.
He's just untouchable. You know, it felt like the whole fight, BDD was the only person on KT who's never really threatened. He finally sees a window to go in, and he decimates T1. He is more than online at this point. He is taking over the game, and now they might end, actually. It's a Ziggs.
Yeah, Owner is up in 4 seconds time, but like you were saying, there are satchels aplenty here for this Ziggs, as Deft has already gone to work on that first turret. The Nexus is all but dead as it is exposed. The Mega Inferno Bomb just for good measure, and KT even out the series. A lot of physical damage here on the side of KT, but when you have true damage, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and Smolder also does quite a lot of mixed damage as well. It's perfect level 6.
Yep, BDD also had control of the mid-wave, so able to get here first. Oh, the steal! That was pretty sexy. T1, I think, can possibly even just move away from this, but you can see Carrier looking aggressive. That's a flash out from Beryl. Mum does a lot of damage to T1, but it is going to be just these 2 grubs that are going to be taken away. Another one, Gumayusi perhaps? No, not going to happen this time, as, yeah, Perf just going to walk up and stun the Varus.
That's a Crocodile.
Yeah, he's pretty scary. He does have Dominus up and available, Gumayusi without the Chains of Corruption just yet. And they do have a lot of Chain CC. Of course, Perfect will be able to just press Dominus and try to weather the storm, but this is, yeah, this is real dangerous. I see what you did there. The ultimate has been precast, but there it is. I just don't know what he's going to be able to do here. He goes and has a nap, and that is going to be first blood going over to Ona. And meanwhile, underneath the turret here, Ragnarok has been popped, and Pyoshik has to flash. Deft not quite able to grab it quickly enough, but still going to be able to lock down the kill. So both top laners being treated to some top lane action.
What is Raptors to deal with? You know,
there is some killing some camps to take down. The Ragnarok, like you were talking about, still up and available. Let's see whether this can work in a 3v2, as there is the Ragnarok coming down. Bowling ball avoided, as Beryl is just dead. That's the watch out eat from Ona, as he is going to get pushed back there momentarily.
So his thing is that Zeus isn't on the map right now, but he could be heading topside. Like, KT don't know, so they have to kind of respect the fact that they don't have information on how many members are going to be there. I also think with Ona being so strong, it's a bit of a cautious one. So they're just going to give up the grubs completely. and look instead towards the dragon. There's an ocean dragon first of all.
Does mean that that's not going to be the soul, which is good news.
Yep, and also the ocean dragon is an early dragon. It's pretty nice to sustain. It is 12 minutes though, a bit after laning phase. But T1, no hesitation. You take dragon, okay, we're going to take this top lane tier 1 and get some first tower gold.
Well, Deft, he can make it rain. That makes things a little bit annoying there for Owner to be able to catch up. And that is going to be that dragon taken down. But I think the trade here, not exactly fantastic for KT. As you can see, we're ballooning to above 2,000 gold, the lead for T1 with not only first blood, but with now first brick on top of it.
Daily objectives.
Yeah.
And giving a lot of space to T1, not wanting to face him head on, which can make sense when you have that smolder. You're like, let's just let him scale, but they are starting to fall more and more behind. This Herald could mean a mid-tier 1 for T1, which would be huge.
Well, they are just going to take it. Let's see where they do put it down. Might actually just be plonked into the mid lane immediately. As Perfect and Zeus continuing to go at it here.
Perhaps that might just be the game plan.
Yeah.
Just trade the dragons and one apiece. Not really too much concern either way, whatever the soul is.
Still going to be Faker taking a bottom out of turret as well, so that stacked onto everything is only going to continue to build T1's lead. Just a bit better than what KT have been able to do so far.
Yeah, the side lane of pressure from the Azir and Olaf did a pretty good job, and Zeus has TP ready. He's out of vision if they want to move, and I think KT just giving this one up.
Yeah, it looks like this one's not going to be something that they can actually fight for. We'll have a look at what soul it is going to be. Mountain Soul to come in.
Good one.
Yep, either team going to be pretty happy about that. Both of these compositions are kind of built for, as far as getting that wombo down, finding these engages, finding the angles, allowing Zeus to run amok, or allowing Deft to find that big ulti as Flash has to come out here as the Dominus has been popped. Perfect, going down so incredibly low. Teleports coming in from everyone as Owner kind of creep blocked, and that is going to be somehow BDD picking up that kill.
And then Owner gets slowed, gets creep blocked, and now Faker also
Faker is just
down.
dead. Okay, BDD going to flap away from the wall, and you can see that little grin on BDD's face. Feeling pretty good as a 2-0 Smolder once again.
This is kind of the problem, okay? Incremental advantages, you make 2 mistakes. It doesn't feel like they're massive mistakes, but now BDD's also picking up this tower. He is just suddenly monster fed out of nowhere. You know, he got the gold for the Faker kill, he got the shutdown for the Owner kill.
He's not a member of the Dragon Preservation Society.
Or maybe he left, you know?
Oh yeah, maybe he had to leave because otherwise they were never going to be able to get the objective. Speaking of objectives, T1, they're just going to run over towards this Baron, and the Dragon will be taken, but can there be any responses? Beryl just dives in there. Oh. Yep.
And, you know, you'll be doing something, and like a glass will smash or something, and immediately everyone...
all the blood drains out of your face. Yeah. It's like, please tell me that's not one of the good ones. Very true, actually. You just have to be extremely careful. Speaking about being careful, KT... carefully trying to assess whether this Baron is going to be taken down. That is going to be some vision given over. BDD going to be the one to answer, so we'll be able to get that health back relatively soon.
Oh, not quite, actually. So.
Oh, doesn't actually have it built up. Man, been sitting on those components for a while.
So they will get vision with the Make It Rain. Beryl actually has no wards and isn't able to recall.
All right, he's going to have to flash to get himself out of the way of this one. Eats some Honey Fruit. Shattering Strike does not land, but Owner will be able to put him to sleep. Throws down the ulti, but had no health to back it up, and is still just able to walk it off. Never mind.
Yeah, he just lives, I guess.
Those hooves were made for walking.
Okay, but Deft can get vision with Make It Rain. That's all they have right now. They're just going to have to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and find an angle. Here's the Magnet Storm looking to try and keep them out of the pit. And Pyoshik still gets in, but it's not going to be good enough. Look at this AoE damage, it's gigantic. But T1 are still just going to be able to get out of there with the purple buff in hand.
It's a successful heist, but it still feels weirdly... You know, it worked. They got the Baron, but BDD is still so strong. It still doesn't feel like a true victory right now. They lose one member, they get away. They're going to lose a tower as well. This feels like an aiming Smolder game.
Oh, it really does. I feel like we watched this yesterday. And aiming won a few of those games. So we can see that building up the Smolder is certainly something that does work. But now it's T1's forte. This is where they get to utilize their control of the map. And you can see able to take down inner turret in the top lane. And it looks like Zeus will be able to protect this siege minion as well, getting to work in this mid lane. Four grubs paying off as well.
Yeah, this is big, especially against a Smolder. Baron pressures can be tricky.
And it's like, there's been 7 kills this game. Somehow, there's a 6,000 gold lead. As T1, they've started up the Dragon. Vision now given over to KT as teleport to come in. Let's see what can happen here as the dragon does fly by, but it's just a little bit of damage onto Ona. They get the edge. Yoshik, they do manage to avoid the Chains of Corruption largely, but in goes Ona, he goes golden. Can they find the sleeps they're looking for? The flash out from BDD, but he's still gonna get taken down. And this is like what you were talking about, Orcs. Unfortunately, sometimes the little dragon just goes pop, and T1, they are just crushing KT with their wallets now. It's a little bit anticlimactic, but that is the way T1 are going to do it as they look to try and bring us to the next game with match point in hand. That's going to be the clean ace. And T1, I think, just marching up the mid lane.
BDD, he's got a QSS in his inventory, just bought it now, but it's too late. Ends up getting CC'd, ends up going down, and that Smolder, who felt like such a threat, goes down with a whimper. T1, the incremental advantage is apparently we're enough to win them this game.
They're going to make a little bit more proactive play there on the side of KT. I was praising them for their patience, but sometimes it's too much. Oh, it's Lux instead.
It makes more sense, and it's the better duo, but it would have been so
It is still
funny.
zero permafrost.
Yeah.
Like, just nothing.
Just nothing. You know what?
That is so... But also, it is great in Solilia, which I am a big fan of.
And unfortunately, Carrier can't use T1 Lux because he didn't get it.
Yeah, he did not. As taking some cues here all over the place. Light Binding does go wide as there is the arcane shift forward. We bring up the win rate as they take so much damage. Oh, the flash forward from Beryl. And that will get the flash out from Gumayushi. And she'll help me.
Do you think when you get into a game like this, KT just mute top? You think, like, Fairfax like, hey, it's a great time. You can probably gank now. I think the Vayne's overstepping a bit. And they just literally just moved him out the call. He's in his own call by himself.
He's just actually, it's going to be a nice little catch on to Deft, who does take that delayed punch of damage win this game. As Kyoshik has started off this dragon, Carrier is standing on a ward right now as he does move himself in. Remember, it's kind of an awkward composition to start off fights with, but Ona is certainly the one. That is the flash over there from Kyoshik, just try and put Ona to sleep as the final spark does come in. Ona can just walk on forward, but the dragon has been taken down. Mom gets mad. Connects onto Beryl and BDD, but they are already out of there.
Lilia getting the sleep to proc, really difficult. There's no other CC in the composition, so might be a big struggle in the late game in general.
Ooh, there's a final spark to come on through. That is still going to be Kyoshik picking up that grub. Might just be all of these going on over as T1 not looking to commit to this grub fight. So 4-2 going to be the advantage here on KT's side. The first good news story that there is, unless Ona will just come in and steal it away, but it's not going to be the case. As Faker here towards the bottom side, just grabbing a plate smorgasbord. BDD in position. Okay, Sneeze does connect onto two. It's a lot of stacks. That's not too bad. But the flash forward from Beryl to try and get that snare locked in. Mom comes on through, but the slow is still going to be there. Valkyrie forward, and that is going to be first blood going to BDD on his Corki.
Right. He's fully investing in the movement speed.
Love that.
He wants to go fast.
And next Drake is a Chemtech. We could have a Cloud Soul as well. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Think of a champion better at activating Cloud Soul than Karma.
That's true.
You press a lot of R.
I love how there's now 3 people in Pivx lane.
Yeah, Zeus and Faker are going to be able to easily take down this turret. That is going to be first turret blood going over their way, further extending that gold advantage as KT looking to try and answer here towards the top side. It's BDD that's getting the majority of that money, but the problem is the KT now having to deal with an inner turret just being focused. Rift Herald is going to be employed alongside BDD. But if it gets another charge, they might be able to answer this.
Yeah, I think if they trade even, it's pretty okay, all things considered.
With 4 grubs, this should actually be very doable.
With how
especially
low
with no one there, yeah.
I think KT are probably okay with how this is panned out. Also the gold on good members as well, BDD and Yoshi getting it.
Definitely a shout out to you there, Orcs, for paying attention throughout this entire series.
I'm dialed in.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's good to see. And now we're just praying
for
a Cloud Soul for all that extra movement speed, and it's an Ocean's Head.
This is honestly... Ocean's okay for T1. There's a lot of poke on KT that they can obviously mitigate, but it's a pretty lame dragon here.
Maybe hold 2 control wards in your inventory the entire game. Maybe that's because then you can't buy them. Okay, perfect. Just wants to clear out the wave. Does stun up Zeus as he comes in. True Shot Barrage clears out the wave, and Perfect is so dead. That is going to be a kill going over to Zeus there. His Kraken Slayer already completed.
And T1, you know, the lane matchup was already going good. They've really piled it on and just making this champion feel so useless.
And I think this is where, like, all of Perfect's older brothers on his team are saying, like, buddy, it's okay, we'll carry you, it's all right. And I think that they're going to keep saying that.
Honestly.
Yeah, and it's just a Cloud. I don't think they're too worried about giving that one up. We have spoken about giving things up and being like, that's okay, but then, like, afterwards, KT just kind of lost the game in one
KT are masters of giving up.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that eventually you do need to get control back. And giving things up does not quite help you there.
Yeah, giving up Nexus, not a good play.
Yeah.
Giving up Singular Dragon, that's okay.
It's okay. Perfect's here to defend the turret. Perfect may not be here for much longer. It's okay. There's the dash forward from Pyoshik. Does find a sleep onto one, but it's not exactly high priority there as Gumyushi did just get so far away. Bum comes down. The minion waves are all just obliterated.
It's kind of the vibe at the moment. They are going to lose this mid-tier 1.
It is definitely going to go down. Yeah. The sneeze not going to quite work, but it does not matter. Gets them away from it. And so T1 got what they came for.
And they don't feel that strong now, so that's why it's kind of feeling a bit dire. But it's possible. There's a lot of squishy members on T1.
Beryl is now probably big dead.
He's very dead.
Big time.
Yeah, I was going to say
dead.
There's a lot of squishy members on T1, so maybe you can pick someone. But Beryl's also squishy and now dead, and now Baron is gone. And the question is, will Pyoshik be there in the next 5 seconds?
Well, True Shot Barrage did do a fair bit of damage. Now T1 possibly in a little bit of trouble. Pyoshik, can you get the steal? The answer is no. Ona locks that one down, but Gumyushi already dead. At the beginning of this one, Pyoshik down very, very low as Faker just explodes. Deft trying to get the extra autos in. He finally helps BDD take him out. As now Ona, he'll be taken off the board as well.
Oh, the TP back in?
Yep, looking for the angle here. BDD just, it's one tumble auto attack and this Corki is just dead. And Zeus with that Night Hunter is very, very scary.
And now KT can pick up this dragon. So not really going to get the value you'd maybe hoped out of securing Baron, but you didn't all die, I think is the takeaway on this one.
There you go.
BDD pretty strong now, though. Picked up a lot of those kills. Carrier, you are very squishy.
Yeah, he also had to stand still to put out that final spark, which meant that BDD was able to get on over there. So that is going to be a turret going down in the mid lane as well. True Shot Barrage was searching for Carrier there. Zeus getting to work here on this top lane, and I'm getting Worlds flashbacks, man. Just watching Zeus take games into his own hands. His Vayne is so incredibly good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate BDD didn't kill Carrier before because he's one of the 2 Barons remaining.
Yeah.
Oh, TP flank.
All right, it's time for Perfect to shine, ladies and gentlemen. He sidesteps the life binding. That's a great start as Carrier going to be taken out first. Pyoshik going to steal the kill away from a well-deserving Perfect who just needed something in this game, for goodness sake. T1 now just trying to get out of there. They've lost their support this time around, and KT looking to push further forward. True Shot Barrage to stop them from rotating around, and it is another turret to be taken here for KT. Still a lot of poke damage back. Gumyushi going down relatively low, though. To be avoided this time as BDD Valkyries his way in. Somehow Pyoshik's little hooves do not connect onto the traps. Beryl not going to be so lucky. Baron down to 6,000. These rockets still coming in. True Shot Barrage doing a fair bit of work. It's a flash in from Pyoshik, and he steals away the Baron. He might just die, though, and there he goes. Zeus now thinks that it's his time as KT just trying to vacate the area. Perfect trying to be bouncer now to keep his team alive. Beryl, can you press Mantra and Inspire? That's the question as Faker trying to flap his way out. Oh, they're just bombing. Oh my god, the damage. And Gumyushi going to be able to take down the Crocodile once again. Ace in the hole is going to lock down Beryl. And Deft, the last Baron standing. And T1, they're looking to break open the base.
I just feel to end the series here. 20 seconds of Pyoshik. He has ult. Beryl doesn't have ult. Sorry, Deft doesn't have ult. He needs to try and clear the wave. I don't think he's going to have a chance.
Needs to land a few more of these Qs. Try and bring that one down as much as possible. It's taking a while because the Baron buff is going to be there. True Shot Barrage now just aimed at the minions. Nexus turret number 1 is going to be taken down, though. They're trying to tank this one up as best they can. As Ona going down exceptionally low. There is the kill under the Sejuani, and Pyoshik is back up, but they're just killing the Nexus. They're just going to round 2, and KT, they're not out of the race for playoffs yet, but they out of the race for Worlds yet, but they are out of playoffs.
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.